boardwalk. We'll be having some fun under the boardwalk. People walking above under the boardwalk. We'll be falling in love under the boardwalk. Boardwalk. Yeah. I didn't pull it down though. Yeah, I noticed most of the guys were singing the high part there. I was watching their faces. Kind of funny. Many years ago, I used to play in a group. I don't know if anybody was ever around back then. It was quite, I heard it, yeah? Somebody actually was. I did a lot of playing too with Jackie and Keith Roach, which some of you I'm sure remember. Remember them playing with Shiloh and Mustangs, and I had to leave them because I had to go to college. I didn't plan on it exactly. I was working at the heavy water plant. And it was the summer, and they wanted to hire me full time as a spray painter. And I went home and I said to my mother, "I'm quitting school." Back in those days, when they said no, you listened to them. And that's all she said. She just went, "No, you're not." So, here I am. Now I forgot what I was going to play. Oh yeah. I was playing this at a dance. This is way back. The older people here will remember this one. And I'd always say to the dance people on the dance floor, wait until they turn the lights up before you ask her home. Yeah. I got a lot of thanks for that. The funniest part was in one dance, there was a girl come up and she said, "I don't know how to thank you. He asked me if he could take me home, and I was ready to say yes. And then you said, wait till the lights come up." She said he was the ugliest ticket when those lights come up. He wasn't ugly at all before that, but when those lights come up, he was the hardest looking ticket I ever saw. Anyway, this is what I was playing. I was waltzing with my darling to the Tennessee Waltz. I gotta stop. Something happened here. The guitar got louder, and I didn't do it. You notice that? Where's the sound people? They were supposed to. When they get it, that better? I was waltzing with my darling to the Tennessee Waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced him to my loved one, and while they were waltzing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. I remember that night and the Tennessee Waltz. Only you know how much I had lost. I lost my little darling. Yes, I lost my little darling. The night they were playing that beautiful Tennessee Waltz. Can you hold on 1/2 second? I gotta adjust something there. He went funny on me. I don't know what happened. I can't have it like that. It'd drive me crazy.
All rise, please.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my call, hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. disappears, and the night draws near, and the day is past and gone. At the river I stand, guide my feet, hold my hand, take my hand. Precious Lord, lead me home.
I have 9 seats.
I think we can be seated now.
I have 9 seats if anybody wants a seat. I have more. If you want seats, I have more. He talks long if he taught you. You're in if you're old.
No, come on up close to the front. Don't wait you. I don't think. There's a seat up here. 2 over there. You all set? Now, before I do everything formally here, I'm playing 2 parts here, okay? One is the music and one is the service. So, when I introduce myself to sing, might get mixed up because it'll be me again, okay? But I will introduce myself when it's time to sing because, somebody should introduce me. For those who don't know, my name is Jack Edinger, and I'll be guiding you through today's service, differently than you're probably used to. On behalf of Ryan and Sarah, Darlene's son and daughter, and Darlene's father, Chuck. Is it Chuck? That's what you go by? It was Charles, was it? But we call you Chuck. Jamieson, Wayne, and let's not forget Blake and Ella. I saw them coming in there all dressed up. Didn't they look sharp, what? I thought he was coming up to sing when he came in first. He came right up here. And the entire family would like to welcome everyone to the celebration of Darlene's life. They would like to thank everyone for coming out here today to offer a hug, a word of comfort, and take a moment to remember Darlene. This is part of what I call part 1 of Darlene's celebration of life. I understand at 6 o'clock tonight, there's one at Jiggers. Ryan, I was looking for some stories, and Ryan said to me, he said, we got lots of stories, but you can't tell them up there. We'll be telling them at Jiggers tonight. Now, whatever he means by that, I don't know, but... So, I want to make sure everyone has their cell phone shut off, because if they're on and they ring, I will answer it, and that will get things started in a way that you won't believe. So, first of all, I'd like to have an opening prayer. Let us pray. Jesus, let your presence manifest in this place as we gather here to mourn our beloved Darlene Jamieson. Let the things we share about Darlene bring joy and healing in our hearts. We know it will be hard for everyone to fill the gap that has been left in your hearts. But we also know that in days, weeks, months, and even years to come, you will heal us. And what we will be left with are the fond memories of the times we shared with Darlene. The many laughs, and from what I understand, there were many, help us to learn how to love others unconditionally like our beloved Jesus did when he was with us on this earth. We thank you for giving us a chance to spend time with Darlene while she was here on earth with us. In Jesus' name we pray the words that he taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Now, the family of Darlene spent many good years with her, and my advice to you is to just remember the good memories she gave you. Darlene, I understand, love country music. Well, I'm a country fan, and I heard that her father liked Daniel O'Donnell, and I'm going to do a Daniel O'Donnell number, I Watch the Sunrise. I watch the sunrise as a metaphor where we go through life. Some look at it as a metaphor from when you get up in the morning till you go to bed at night. But it's a metaphor of life, when we're being born until we are at peace. So I'm going to ask Jack Ettinger to come up and sing that for us. Thank you, Jack. I was getting warm back there. Daniel O'Donnell. I watch the sunrise lighting the sky, casting its shadows near. And on that morning, bright though it be, I feel those shadows near me. For you are always close to me, following all my ways. May I be always close to you, following all your ways, Lord. I watch the sunlight shine through the clouds, warming the earth below. And at the midday, the light seems to say, I feel your brightness near me. But you are always close to me, following all my ways. May I be always close to you, following all your ways, Lord. I watch the sunset fading away, lighting the clouds with sleep. And as the evening closes its eyes, I feel your presence near me. For you are always close to me, following all my ways. May I be always close to you, following all your ways, Lord. I watch the moonlight guarding the night, waiting till morning comes. Air is silent, earth is at rest, only your peace is near me. Yes, you are always close to me, following all my ways. May I be always close to you, following all your ways, Lord. Following all your ways, Lord. No, wait now. Jack. That was a lovely number. Oh, the heat up here. It's not time yet, Trish, but when the time comes, it's pretty hot up here. As long as it doesn't bother you that I'm sweating up here, I'm okay. They said, well, I did a church service upstairs at the hospital, and it was really warm up there. And I did it with Martha McDonald. She was the preacher at that time. And this lady hollered from the back. I said, stop me warm up here. She said, take your shirt off. Martha said, I did a lot of church services, but I've never heard anyone do that. I said, you don't know how close I am to doing that. So, there's something interesting that I'd like to share. I knew Darlene when she was, say, 14, 15, back in school. And that was actually when I was just getting started teaching. So she sort of kicked me off there to get me started. What a way to start. I was a science and math major, and in those days he said a teacher is a teacher. So I was teaching math and English. I said, oh yeah, okay. English wasn't my main thing. You know, bye, give me that. So the kids were all leaving the English side. Hey, bye, come here, give me that one. So yeah, proper English for Kate Breton. There you go. Now in the class was Darlene and many of her, is it boozy friends? Are any of the boozy friends here? Just raise your hand so I can see you. One? Just one? 2, 3, 4? Hi, they're hiding. Did I teach any of you? Yeah, what a way to start, right? For over 60 years, those girls have been in contact with each other. That's amazing. But the part that I'm saying that's I find interesting is I started my career as a teacher with Darlene, and I ended my principalship with her daughter, Sarah. She was the last graduating class I had, so when you think of it, Darlene started me off, and Sarah kicked me out. So, but Darlene left to go to the liquor store, and I retired to go to the liquor store. So, I guess that's a sure thing there. So, now, actually, Sarah's not the one. I guess it's more like Ryan is the one that probably should have drove me out of school. But Ryan, listen to me. He had his own seat in my office. Okay? He was actually a pretty good kid. But if this makes you feel any better, when I got the principalship at Glace Bay High School, it was on stage during the graduation, and I said a joke up there. And the next day, I got called into the office. I had to go into the head office, and Beth McKinsey looked and said, Jack, I don't know what you said there, but people were saying, that wasn't right. I said, you want to hear what I said? She said, no. I said, well, I'm going to tell you anyway. Gus McMullen was the principal, and he was leaving, and I was coming in. And all I said was, Gus is leaving. He's so old that they taught driver's ed and sex ed in the same car. So, I didn't think it was that bad. But they kind of did. So anyway, so we're kind of a team, eh? Maybe it was you that got me doing that, I don't know. So, we're going to share a few poems and stories here today and tonight. I guess I'm not allowed to tell some of the stories because Ryan doesn't want me to. But she's going on a journey, and I'd like to share with you this. It's not a poem. It was written by Henry Van Dyke, and it sums up what I think. I mean, they told me that Darlene was actually spiritual. She believed there was something. Now, this here is deep what I'm going to read, okay? English teacher, see? The math, physics, English teacher. And I'm going to quiz you when I'm finished. See, it's a metaphor, but it's a beautiful metaphor, and I'm actually serious about this part. So, I am standing upon the seashore, a ship at my side, spreads her white sails to the morning breeze, and starts for the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength, and I stand and watch her until at last she hangs like a speck of white cloud just where the sea and the sky come to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, "There, she is gone." But gone where? Gone from my sight. That is all. She is just as large in mass and hull and spar as she was when she left my side. And she is just as able to bear her load of living freight to the place of her destination. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at that moment, when someone at my side says, "There, she is gone," there are other eyes watching her coming, and other voices ready to take up the glad shout, "Here she comes." And that is dying. Isn't that some poem? And what it says, to me anyway, I feel that sums up the way Darlene was. She did believe that there was something else. And they are now saying, "Here she comes." And of course, we're feeling it here. And you can see it by this. This crowd tells you everything. This tells you so much. You guys should be so proud of your mother and your wife and your daughter and your grandmother. Can't forget these two on the end. I can't get over the two of you. I think you're fantastic. Now I'd like to call on Trish Walsh, her sister, to say a few words about Darlene. Let me sit you up. You're going, don't take those.
Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. My name is Trish, and I'm Darlene's older sister. We are gathered today to celebrate the life of Darlene, who passed away on February 1st. Darlene requested a small service here at Tracy's, and I'm sure she would be humbled to see the turnout today. Thank you all for coming. Darlene wasn't sick long. She received her diagnosis in October. She was told her cancer was back, and the doctor would pray for her. Even after hearing this news, she was hopeful that she would be cured. After more tests and seeing more doctors, she found out the cancer was much worse than anyone thought. Darlene was so brave after every setback. I'm saying brave, but anyone who knew Darlene would say it was her stubbornness. As an example, she wanted to sit up in the chair while in hospital, and she did that until 2 days before she died. She wanted to be awake when people came to visit so she could talk to them. Growing up on Highland Street was busy, but simple at the Jamiesons. We didn't have a lot, but we didn't know that because everyone we knew had about the same. Dad worked driving the coke truck, so we did always have pop. Darlene was the third child of 5. I was the oldest, born the end of November. Charlie was the following January, and then Darlene came the following May. Ma always talked about having 3 babies in diapers, so when anyone ever came to visit, she gave them diapers to fold. Then there was a break before Raymond arrived. And last but not least, there came Michael. And I know he's sitting there saying, they saved the best for last. But I think we all turned out pretty good. When Darlene was in the hospital, she said, "I know I was a good person." Yes, she was. She was a loving partner to Wayne, a loving daughter, sister, sister-in-law, niece, aunt, cousin, and friend. Also best dog mom to Brady, and a pretty good ex to Mike. But most importantly, she was the best mother to Ryan and Sarah. In the hospital, she constantly looked for them, and when they entered the room, her eyes would light up. But her favorite role was Mama to Ella and Blake. She loved spending time with her grandchildren and was so proud of all their achievements. Some people might say Darlene had a hard life, having back surgery at a young age, which led to chronic pain. Darlene didn't see it that way. She felt she had a good life. She stayed at home in a home she worked very hard to keep. It wasn't easy, but she was very proud of her home, and she loved spending time there. Darlene lived her life on her terms, and she was content. If she had a smoke and a Bud Light, she was happy. She didn't like to waste things, which is evident with her 2011 Ford Fiesta, which still runs and only has 60,000 kilometers. She would say she got her summer gas and then her winter gas. Although she didn't like to spend money on a vehicle, she never saw a pair of pajamas she didn't like. She had nighttime PJs and then she had daytime PJs, but she loved them all. She wasn't a very big person, but she always insisted on PJs size large. When she moved from Foundry Street to Highland Street, I had the pleasure of moving the PJs. They filled my van. I'll always remember that because I said to her, "Could you get rid of some of them?" But no, they all made the move. Darlene liked to travel and had some memorable trips during her life: Hawaii, Jamaica, Dominican, and Florida. But her last trip was to Toronto to meet up with her lifelong friends, the Chat Night with Booze girls: Diane Slade, Arnell Morrison, Hazel Brooks, Marty, and Mona McKenzie. Darlene spoke to them all during her brief stay in hospital. She was able to have closure with her family and friends during that time. She knew her time was limited. She took every opportunity to say, "I love you," to everyone she talked to. Darlene also had a very close bond with Heather and Erica Carr. It was clear how much they loved each other. Heather even spent a night with her to give Ryan and Sarah a break. Although Darlene is gone, her impact on our lives will not be forgotten. If we can learn anything from Darlene's passing, it's that life is short, and you can't take tomorrow for granted. She left us way too soon, and we will miss her so much. But hopefully she's up with Ma and Debbie having tea, and maybe smoke. Darlene also requested a celebration of her life at Jiggers, and that will be this evening at 6. I hope you'll come and have a drink for Darlene. Like I said, maybe a smoke and a Bud Light. In Darlene's words, "I don't want to see you cry. Everything will be okay." Love you, Darlene.
See what you did? She was quite the lady. I can just picture a snowstorm, all the kids stuck in the house, 5 of them, not fighting, of course, never arguing, but I could just imagine it's where the family did a lot of bonding and great memories. Try and imagine a teenager when the Beatles were just getting started. That was her. CCR, Dave Clark, Five, Woodstock. And then me in class singing Chris Christopherson because I'm supposed to teach poetry. So I used all Chris Christopherson songs. Anyone remember that? Yeah? Eleanor Rigby. That was a different one. That wasn't the Chris part, though. Yeah, I had the minister up at Glace Bay United. I had him in school, and he told me his favorite was the Silver-Tongued Devil. And he remembered, that was what he remembered at school. So I know that there was a lot of camping and things went on at Elmira, and I can just imagine it. So if you're okay with this is for Darlene. I would like for everyone to sing along with Jack when he comes up. And he's going to sing Heaven on the Myra. And I was told that was one of her favorites. Thank you, Jack. They told me to keep it light. Keep everybody cheerful, okay? And that's what it's supposed to be, a celebration. And that's what we're doing here. And I'm looking at the two grandkids again. It makes me think about my my grandson. When he was little. I did. Mary had a little lamb, you know, that one. She wasn't allowed to take her lamb to school. Remember that? He got all upset. He said, "Poppy, that's a sin. She's not allowed to take her lamb to school." I said, "Yeah, but there's another verse." He said, "What is it, Poppy?" I said, "Mary had a little lamb. Her father shot it dead. Now she takes the lamb to school between two pieces of bread." He actually said, "I don't like that, Poppy." Out on the wire on the warm afternoon, old go fishing with black light and spoon. And if they catch nothing, never complain. Well, I wish I was with them again. As the boys in their boats call the girls on the shore, teasing the ones that they dearly adore. And into the evening the courting begins. Well, I wish I was with them again. Sing it out now. Can you imagine the peace of the universe, more fit for princess and king? I'll trade you 10 on your seat for Marion Bridge and the pleasure it brings. Out on the Myra on the soft summer's night, bonfires blaze to the children's delight. They dance round the flames singing songs with their friends, and I wish I was with them again. Over the ashes, and over the ashes the stories are told of witches and werewolves, no time and gold. The stars on the river, they sparkle and spin. Well, I wish I was with them again. Can you imagine the peace of the universe, more fit for princess and king? I'll trade you 10 of your cities for Marion Bridge and the pleasure it brings. Are you ready? Well, now I'll conclude with this. Wish you go well. Sweet be your dreams. May your happiness swell. I'll leave you now for my journey begins. And I'm going to be with them. Yes, I'm going to be with them. Yes, I'm going to be with them again. Out on the Myra. Thank you very much. You think she would have enjoyed that? Now, Sarah, and when your kids say this, as a mother, not you as a mother, as your mother, I was asking if you had something, just one thing you want to say about your mother. And when I asked her, there was one thing you would like to share about your mom, what would it be? And she said, she was my rock. Without her, I didn't know would not know what I would have done. I was young when Ella was born. My mom helped me to raise her. She was so positive about life, even when she was sick. As a child, I can see her with a cup of tea in her hand and the radio blasting country and western music. And that's her vision of her mother, and it's a beautiful vision. Then I asked Ryan. Ryan got serious. At this time, Ryan really got serious. And he said, Mom was always there for us. She made sure we never went without anything. Made sure we knew we were loved. Always kept in touch. Always put us first. And now, her two grandchildren, Blake and Ella, became number one. He did mention one thing about sports. I said, well, what sports team? Was she interested? He said, no. But, for example, if we were watching the Super Bowl on TV, she would sit there with us. But if we weren't there, she wouldn't even turn it on. But what's that tell you about Darlene, right? What does that tell you? Tell you that her kids were number one. They were so important to her. For a mom to hear her children say that, wow, it tells you so much. From Kelly's Treehouse, this is a little verse, very short verse, but I can see Darlene actually writing this verse. And it goes like this. When the day arrives and there are no more tomorrows for me, I want my children to know and never forget that they were, are, and always will be deeply loved by me. I think Darlene would write that. That's the way I feel. She will be missed by her friends, the crew at Jiggers. Let's not forget her furry friend, Brady. When I was reading the obituary, they say everything. And the one thing about the obituaries that I noticed was there were so many that put in comments, and some of them said things like, wonderful friend and person. Not just friend, but and person. Beautiful smile, infectious laughter. These are words that I just pulled out of there, a few of them. Thoughts from across Canada. Your laugh filled the room. And as we said, she loved country music. And you want me to get that? She loved country music. And this song here is back in her day, and it's a Merle Haggard number, and it's my last one before we close. And Silver Wings is about somebody leaving, but it also can be metaphored as what's happening here today. And if you get that urge, you just join along. Merle Haggard. Silver wings shining in the sunlight, roaring engine headed somewhere in flight, taking you away, leaving me lonely. Silver wings slowly fading out of sight. Don't leave me, I cry. Don't take that airplane ride. You have left me out of your life, left me standing here beside. Don't get down. Silver wings shining in the sunlight, roaring engine headed somewhere in flight, taking you away, leaving me lonely. Silver wings slowly fading out of sight. Silver wings slowly fading out of sight. Merle Haggard, and I think she loved Merle. Now, as we come to the close of our time together, I'd like to offer a moment of quiet reflection. May we hold close the memories that bring us comfort, the stories that make us smile, and the love that remains, even in loss. May we find peace in knowing that what was shared can never be taken away. The kindness, the laughter, the time spent together. And may we carry that love with us as we move forward, grateful for a life we live and forever changed by knowing Darlene. And now Darlene is going to a different mansion. I have to dig something out here, if you bear with me for a second. This number is called A Mansion over the hilltop. And this will be our final. I'm satisfied with just a cottage below, a little silver and a little gold. But in that city where the rents will shine, I want the gold one, that silver line. I've got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never grow old. And someday yonder we'll never more wander, but walk the streets that are pure as gold.